So the timing issue, therefore, is this. There is a timing issue that regards the destruction of the temple in AD 70, and there is a timing issue that regards or that connects to the end of the world, which will coincide with the return of Jesus, which is still in the future.
Yes, sir.
So some of the statements Jesus made in this passage, in this discourse, were applicable to the people that heard him while he made those statements. When he was saying, you are going to be brought before kings, you are going to be beaten, you are going to be killed, some of you are going to be killed. And he went on to say to them that when you are brought before judges and kings, do not bother beforehand what you are going to say. Because in the Lucan version, that's where he said, because I will give you a mouth and a wisdom that your adversary will not be able to gainsay, notwithstand. He was speaking to his immediate audience at the time, because those were things that were going to happen before the destruction of the temple. But if you have heard the preliminary statements I made, all the thing about Isaac being an inferior or a model of Jesus Christ, all the thing about the tabernacle being a shadow of the heavenly tabernacle of David, being an inferior fulfillment of the prophecies that Jesus is the ultimate fulfillment, if you follow that already not yet kind of thing I was doing, it now comes into application here. That many of the things Jesus said that would mark the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, which actually marked the end of what we properly call the Jewish age. And I'm going to show you that from Matthew 24 in a while. There's the end of the Jewish age, and then the beginning of the time of the Gentiles. The time of the Gentiles is captured in many passages of scripture. It's very, very clear. It's there in Romans chapter 11, when Paul was talking about the vine that was cut off, and then we were caught in, we were grafted in, and said we shouldn't boast. And he said all of that is going to happen for as long as it is a time the number of the Gentiles have come in. And after that has happened, there's still going to be a chapter that will focus upon the Jewish nation. But that right now, it is the season of the Gentiles. So we are in the times of the Gentiles. It is part of the echo that you find in John chapter 1, verse 10, 11. He was in the world was made by him, but the world did not know him. He came unto his own, and his own did not receive him. In fact, if you look at scripture, as we're going to be reading in Matthew 24, you will see that the destruction of the temple is couched in the language of vengeance. Vengeance. Almost as if to say that God was going to take vengeance upon Israel for rejecting him in the person of Jesus. And so the fulfillment of the things Jesus said, some of it happened before the destruction of the temple in AD 70. And it is a prototype, it's a model of what will now happen cosmically at a global scale at the end of the age. So there's a already not yet. Many of the things Jesus said in Matthew 24, they actually happened before AD 70, okay? But that was not the ultimate fulfillment of those statements that Jesus made. So, because there is now a historical evidence for understanding that the destruction of the temple will not coincide with the end of the world, which means that the signs that will point to the destruction of the temple cannot be the same sign, those exact ones, as they happened 2,000 years ago, cannot now be taken to be the things that will be the mark of the end of the world, which means we are also going to witness the replay of many of the things Jesus said in Matthew 24, anytime that we are approaching the end of the world, and the return of Jesus Christ. So